Veritone is a software provider of cloud-based AI solutions, which draw from structured and unstructured data types in efforts to produce actionable insights for users across various industries. The company operates through three business segments: the advertising segment, AIware software as a service solution segment, and the AIware content licensing and media services segment. What this system does is they created the first proprietary AI operating system, and this utilizes an open ecosystem of over 100 cognitive engines, which allows for free-flowing communication between a data lake of various data sources and types, and systems with a combination of third-party AI models and proprietary AI models. And it uses all of that in connection to create optimal business insights for the given user, which can be used to create certain applications and AI-powered solutions for that specific user. So it translates all of the raw data into actionable recommendations and/or processes that can run themselves. We're recommending that Veritone be added to the AIM Small Cap Fund with a price target of $31.99 for a few key reasons. The first reason being the authorization to operate across the entire U.S. Department of Justice was granted in Q3 of 2021. And what this does is allow Veritone products to be used across all DOJ divisions, opening up a huge number of potential contracts with the government for the company to win. With the government expecting to invest more than $6 billion in AI-related research and development projects throughout 2021, the chance of winning some or many of these deals across the DOJ is relatively high and considerable for the growth of the company. Next, the market for AI solutions is growing at a strong rate. It's estimated that the market will have a total addressable market value of $100 billion by 2025, representing a CAGR of 35%, which establishes a growing value of market share that Veritone could capture. Also, Veritone products have superior capabilities to many existing AI solutions because of their ability to draw from unstructured data, which is about 80% of the world's data is unstructured, which makes a substantial competitive advantage over other AI solutions for the company and their offerings. And lastly, the company has shown consistent and strong growth over past periods and is expected to break even in Q4 of 2021 on a quarterly basis, making 2022 the likely first year of profitability for the company. This should benefit the stock price as well. The first driver behind our investment thesis is the authorization to operate across the DOJ, which was granted in Q3 of 2021. This gives the entire DOJ and all of its departments authorization to utilize AIware, Veritone's operating system. And this expands the reach of the company to government and regulated industries further than the U.S. District Attorney's offices, which Veritone products have been used in and are being used in already. So as you can see with the hierarchy chart on the right, Veritone products are able to be used by all of the departments listed there, which provides a huge top line and industry growth opportunity as Veritone's systems will be exposed to greater levels of government and regulated industry data types and uses and applications, which they can use moving forward to advance their system overall. Already, they've seen 114% sales growth quarter over quarter in government and regulated industries, and this is just since the authorization was granted. So it's quite likely that this growth, maybe not at 114% rate, but will be substantial over the coming periods. Our second driver is related to the recent acquisition made by Veritone of PandaLogic. This is an AI-enabled recruiting platform, and with the current environment of how difficult it has been for companies to bring in employees following the pandemic, this solution offers a good way to get a competitive edge in the market for employees. This acquisition is expected to bring in over $50 million in SaaS revenues and more than $25 million in EBITDA contributions during 2021 on a pro forma basis. It also provides exposure for the operating system and the company to the human capital management industry. And because of the AI backing and the machine learning element of Veritone's products, exposure to new data types and industries only helps the system grow its pool of cognitive abilities. And the rapid execution of integration and earlier than anticipated revenue and cost synergies are also likely to provide a positive sentiment in the market and a good outlook moving forward. The third driver has to do with the increasing value of Veritone's product offerings. Veritone products become more efficient as they're exposed to more industries. This is because of the machine learning that propels the product and the operating system. And as it's exposed to greater sets of data types and differing industries, it becomes capable of more efficiencies for the user and for itself as far as developing itself with lower costs to the company. So in short, expansion into more industries and greater sets of users creates greater product capabilities, which increases the value offering to consumers. A recent finding of this would be, for example, Veritone's ability to achieve a deal with the top 20 United States utility in the energy sector. It now is able to offer substantial cost savings to its users, whether or not you're in the energy industry. So that's one example of how the machine learning and exposure to new industries and data types offers value to all users and potentially brings in more users as well. In order to reach our price target of $31.99, we used 3 different valuation methods. First, we constructed a 5-year DCF, which was weighted at 65% of our valuation. We used a WACC of 9.94% and a terminal growth rate of 2%, which provided us with an intrinsic value of $26.52. When we tested the sensitivity with plus or minus 150 bips on the WACC and plus or minus 50 bips on the growth terminal growth rate, we reached a price range of $22.72 to $34.12. Next, we used a price to sales multiple, which provided us with a peer average price to sales multiple of 17.86, and in turn provided for a price target of $29.55. And lastly, we used a price to revenue growth multiple with a peer average PEG ratio on revenue growth of $5.42. This gave us an intrinsic value of 249.96. I do want to touch on that the 249.96 is absurdly high. However, we did want to include this at a very, very small weight of our valuation in order to capture the value that is found in the rapid growth phase that Veritone is currently in.
As Natalie mentioned before, 80% of the world's data is unstructured. This is what makes Veritone's products so special. However, it also leads to a risk. Veritone's products rely on third parties for cognitive development. Development of the machine learning capabilities of Veritone's products relies upon exposure to a diverse mix of data types and use cases within third-party infrastructures. Should a variety of industries not adopt Veritone's products, they could reach a plateau in development and be outpaced by competitors. Veritone's second risk comes with its use of facial recognition. In June of 2020, legislation was introduced to the U.S. Senate proposing a ban on the use of facial recognition technology within policing operations in certain U.S. cities due to growing concerns relating to the infringement of individual rights. Veritone's third risk comes through its operation in a developing market. While large infrastructure-based cloud computing services are already being provided, the addressable market for advanced AI software products is now just emerging. The size and scope of the market presents risks and uncertainties around the growth potential of Veritone. Chad Steelberg serves as CEO, Chairman, and co-founder of Veritone. Steelberg has held this position since the inception of Veritone in June of 2014. Prior to this, Steelberg served as the GM of Google's audio division from 2006 to 2007. He also served as co-founder and CEO of DMARC Broadcasting. Ryan Steelberg, Chad's brother, has held the position of President, Co-founder, and Director since the inception of Veritone in June of 2014. Ryan also serves as the President of Veritone's subsidiary, Veritone One, which he's held since 2015. Finally, Ryan has served as President and CEO of Brand Affinity Technologies, Inc. from 2007 to 2014. Wrapping up the executive management group is Michael Zemetra. Michael has held the position of Executive Vice President, CFO, and Treasurer since October of 2020. From 2018 to 2020, Zemetra served as Executive Vice President and CFO of Live by Live Media.